Hi guys, I'm Ryan Houston and welcome to my fly tying channel. This channel contains hundreds of different videos covering all manner of different patterns, techniques and styles of fly tying. There's something here to suit almost everybody, so hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, let's get on with the show. Hi guys, so we're going to tie a variation on a cat's whisker. Cat's whisker is one of the most deadly rainbow trout flies ever invented, and it has many different forms. So this one is going to be like a hothead cat's whisker. So we have a 3.2mm hot orange bead here. I'm going to use white Zonker strip for the tail of it, and I'm also going to use this, I don't know what colour you call it, it's like a neon fritz for the body of it. So I have a B175 size 10 hook in here. I'm going to take a chartreuse thread. This one happens to be a Textreme 60 in fluorescent yellow, and take that down to the back of the bead. Now the bead sliding here, I'm not going to build up a body to stop the bead sliding per se, but the tying is going to do that, and I'll explain a couple of things behind that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this super glue gel here on one of these precision applicator things, and I'm just going to push the bead up at the back. That opens the back of the bead for me, and I'm just going to run a little bit of super glue along the shank and then turn that into the bead and just put a little squeeze of super glue into that. If I was using runny super glue, it would simply run through that and into the eye. So that's the reason for using the precision gel applicator. So the shank now has a little bit of super glue on it. So what we're going to do is take our white Zonker strip. I'm going to roll that up onto the top. Now it's just coming to the back of the bead there. And then I'm just going to wrap this backwards. I have it pulled under tension here, and that will give me a nice neat body. So then what we want to do is trim the Zonker tail. Now you could use scissors, but you have to be fairly particular if you're going to do that. So what I'm going to use is a blade, and I'm just going to stretch the skin of the Zonker backwards and come back about an inch or so here, and just pressure upwards will cut that off. And that means once the skin gives, then it leaves the hair naturally cut at the bottom. There's no shortcut bits in it. Okay, so body on this is this fritz. So I'm just going to strip a couple of mil of the core just to tie in on. Tie it in about halfway up the fly there, and then bind it down to the back, and then take our thread to the front. I'm going to explain then as we do this what the super glue and the bead was for. So if we wrap our fritz, with each wrap I'm just folding it back like I would a hackle, and that gives us a nice even body. The idea with this is that once we get to the front, the last turn will slip down into the recess of the bead. The super glue is already in there, so that will then soak into that little bit of fritz that has dived underneath it there. So 3 turns over it, a couple of turns in front, pass it back again, and a couple more turns and behind it, flip it, and in front. And now your thread should start to fall in behind the bead. And then I finish that off. You can use a whip finish tool, I don't. And then trim. And trim off our fritz. So that's our fly tied. All we have to do is to put a little bit of varnish onto the whippings there. But even if that fell off, the fly shouldn't come apart because we have the super glue in the back where the actual tying's down, sort of sank down into. So I put a bit of varnish around there and just roll across the bead just to make sure that there's no varnish on it, and that is our Hothead cat's whisker Zonker tied. So really simple fly. If we weren't talking, we could probably tie it there in about 60 seconds.